Hello guys, this is Low Tech Gaming here, and we are going to play Endwar. I don't know, I just wanted to do another series. It seems that, my other series isn't as popular, and on top of that, I really do like this game, especially because I played a lot of it as a child. Well, not as a child, I was in middle school at the time. Yeah, I played a lot of this, so I want to just go through a campaign, maybe see whether or not people like to watch it or not, who knows? Anywho, I'm like trying to figure out, let's see, deployment hazard first, voice command standard, sound, resolution, it's 1080p, and I'm going to put this in 4K because you can only stretch out with those advanced settings. As you can see, this is really... Okay, fun. Yeah, we'll just apply that. We'll do that later. It's fine. Okay. I think the only problem I have is the mouse control. I feel like this is a little better. Alright, so we're going to go through... We're not going to go through Theater of War because I'm pretty sure no one plays this anymore. So we're just going to do the single-player campaign. I think it's going to force us to go through the tutorial missions, I think. Yeah, so we have to go through the tutorial missions, that's fine.
Welcome, Commander, to the Revolutionary Overlord Battle Command Interface by Masada Systems Limited.
Yeah. I know how to do this. Well, what's it? We'll do Expert. We'll kind of need to get my feel into the game again.
2016. Nuclear terrorism in Saudi Arabia kills 6 million. And cripples the world's oil supply. 2017, the joint U.S.-European missile shield goes live. The world celebrates the end of nuclear warfare. The stage is set. Now the world's leading supplier of oil and natural gas, Russia spends billions on the biggest arms buildup since the Cold War. The European Federation is created with a population and GNP greater than the US. 2020. America begins assembly of the Freedom Star military space station. The end has begun.
I got a little bit of chills watching that again.
Calling the Balkans an anarchy of failed states, President Becerra blamed the European Federation for abandoning the region.
Unable to guarantee access to petrol, the governments of many Balkan nations simply evaporated.
Europe can criticize our Venezuela policies once it's dealt with the crisis in its own backyard.
Unlike the US, we do not play policeman beyond our borders.
General, satellite imaging shows tanks offloading from the ship and moving to attack our uplinks along the Adriatic coast.
Have Colonel Maldini log on immediately.
Alright, now that's kind of funny. So the political situation here is that with the oil crisis, essentially, it's caused a good amount of ramifications for the world. In a sense, Russia became the largest, oil exporter due to the fact that it had all these untapped oil reserves that simply no other nation had, essentially, so it used that to bolster its military power. Like, look at that. It's in bloody Greece. The Russians have bases in bloody Greece right now. It's insane. So yeah, there's that. What else? The European, nations, in response to that, decided to have, make the European Federation to basically, I don't know, kind of center their power and trying to combine it. Kind of like how the EU is today or so, but not in... It doesn't have the military format as the EU, at least not yet. Hint, hint. And then it's funny because, like, apparently the US is having some more interventional policies in Venezuela, which is funny because that's kind of what's happening right now, essentially. Not due to a nuclear battle in, the Middle East, but just because of the fact that there's some terrible stuff going on down there. So yeah, no, it's funny because now they're just like, hey, so you can talk to us about Venezuela when you deal with the Balkans, essentially, because like apparently this entire region's just going to hell as Croatia and all the other nations have just evaporated due to the lack of fuel, which is very funny in my opinion. It's very hilarious. Anyway, enough of this. Let's go into
Colonel
it.
Maldini, Europa is under attack by forces unknown. An unregistered cargo ship ran aground on the coast of what used to be Croatia, then offloaded a dozen or more T-80 tanks that are now firing upon the missile shield uplinks we maintain across the border, in the lawless zone. I have ordered regular infantry units stationed at Fort Turun to repulse the attack and take hold of the cargo ship, so we can determine who is behind this attack. Your gunships will provide close air support. Captain Chumino will serve as your executive officer. For Europa, Colonel, ensure the success of your mission.
Oh, it's funny because, what is it? Out of all the nations that are, you know, the three factions, Russia, the European Federation, and, what is it? The United States. The European Federation is like one of the newest ones because it was just like founded just a couple of years ago. Like, I don't know whether they'll get like all the loyalty. It would feel more like just like a coalition if anything was. It needs like a couple of decades of laws and policies to go by. Anywho, moving on. So there's a terrorist group attacking us, trying to provoke us, apparently. And we're going to deal with them. We are starting off with some gunships. So, a little adjust into the mechanics of, what is it? Endwar? So, Endwar is... It's a rock, paper, scissors, like, RTS. I mean, most RTS are like this, but this is, like, the most little of them, so. Like, we have these gunships here. Gunships are very fast. They're good for scouting, as they have a better, range of view because they're in the air. They are most efficient at dealing with tanks, and they are vulnerable to transports and engineers, to the point where if they come across any of these, they'll just simply get murdered and die, essentially. What is it? Let me start the mission so I can show you the other mechanics as well.
Colonel Maldini has logged onto Overlord. Data stream is secure. Camera on Zircon. Gunships designated Unit 1.
Lovely.
Unit 1 cleared to engage Hostile 1, displayed on HUD.
Let's see, I think it's V. Yeah, so these are just normal European forces over here with the FAMASs going into the thick of things. They're going to get wrecked by those... I think those are T-80s. We should do something about that. Alright, Unit 1 attack Hostile 1. Yeah, so you see those, like, shields around the vehicles. So once that depletes, the unit takes damage. Each unit has, like, 4 squads of 4 vehicles in it. And when they get down to 1, they normally call for extraction. I think the... What is it? These T-80s don't have the luxury of getting evac'd. I also question why they would send riflemen to deal with these. But yeah, this is like akin to the rock, paper, scissors. You see how like our gunships are absolutely shredding the tanks. Oh yeah, they don't get evac, so you just kill every last one of them. Poor guy.
Hostile destroyed. Uplinks Bravo and Foxtrot under attack. Designated BNF on mission radar.
Alright. I don't know why we're just sending mass waves of infantry. We're not sending any of our like ultra elite tanks to deal with them. I find that fairly hilarious.
Good work. Second hostile destroyed. Unit 2 entering mission area.
Oh, and that's the cargo ship that brought them all here. Let's see. Okay. Cool. Okay, so now we have multiple of them. Yeah, so that's the cargo ship. It's not going to be there in a couple of seconds.
Confirmed. In transit.
Let's get Unit 2 over here as well.
In transit, Central. Our pleasure.
Yep. We just blew it up.
Massive detonation at the cargo ship. We've blown it up. Hostile 3 still operational. Let's take care of them.
Oh yeah, that's still there. Maybe we should help our infantry, or maybe they can just like, I don't know, clog the tracks on that tank with their bodies. I don't know. Whichever one they want to do first. I mean, these are very good looking like gunships, I guess. They have like a nice like futuristic aesthetic to them all. And you can upgrade all these in the campaign. I don't know what my focus is going to be. I don't know, I want to do some research on it because there's like a meta that you want to go for.
Destroyed. 2 to go.
Oh, this one's just not going
Hostile
to
still
exist for
operational.
much longer.
Let's take care of them.
Wow, so like they're all taking cover while all gunships could help them, but we're too busy killing these guys here. Well, that's actually fascinating. Why would they not send their tanks though? This is what I'm wondering, because like we have like
4th hostile destroyed.
I guess
Just
like
one more to go.
a higher gen
Hostile 3 still
vehicle, so these are like
operational. Let's take care of
T-80s
them.
from like the bloody, what is it? Bloody Cold War. Actually, they might be T-90s, I'm not entirely sure. Alright, we won. We didn't lose a single gunship. Look at all those cannon fodder. They look
All
cute.
hostile armor destroyed. Uplinks are secure.
Alright.
This is High Command. What is the extent of damage to the ship?
The destruction is total, General. It's still burning.
I want a full investigation of the wreckage. We need to know who is behind this attack. Until we do, details of this mission are to be considered classified. High Command out.
Yeah, so they'll immediately, they don't know who these terrorists are. They don't know what they want, what they're doing. All they know is that they blew up the cargo ship that brought them in here. And until they know who it is, they want to classify the entire thing, put it under wraps. It's actually it makes a lot of sense. So, because it's just like, you don't want this information just leaking out. Oh, random terrorist attack came in here. European Federation doesn't know what the hell they're doing, essentially. It does not go well with the populace so when it comes into attack, and no one knows what's going on, so that's why they want to classify this. Anyhow, more like a tutorial mission. Got some CP. I'm not sure if any of this carries on into like the campaign. Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. Like Robert Kennedy. Okay. Yeah, there's like some quotes after every single mission. Now I'm gonna play as the US, I think.
In just a few minutes, the Freedom 4 will launch into orbit on its mission to complete the Freedom Star, America's first manned space defense station.
Tens of thousands took to the streets of Paris to protest the imminent launch of America's orbital battle station. Despite the outcry, the US president has vowed the launch will go forward as scheduled.
That we're going to launch this thing, there's no stopping us. Wait a minute, wait. I think we've heard some explosions.
Mayday! Perimeter breach north of the launch pad. Multiple vehicles opening fire.
This kind of makes less sense. It's one thing to send terrorists into like a failed state. It's another thing when you are directly attacking the US itself. Because, what is it? Okay, so the Freedom Star, what they keep on talking about, is basically it's a giant space station. And it has the ability to deploy US forces anywhere on the planet within a short amount of time, essentially. It's essentially like this nice orbital relay allowing them to spread military influence across the entire planet. Which is really, really cool for the US, but for everyone else, they're just like, why on earth would you do this? Why, you know? And everyone's like sketchy about it, so you can see the European Federation citizens are just like, what is it? They're rioting in the streets, essentially. But what I'm more concerned about is how the US allowed for the space shuttle to even come under attack. Because of the fact that, what is it? Ever since, like, what is it? Terrorist attacks on 9/11, our national security has gone up so much. So I'm like wondering why on earth they would ever let a sufficient force. It's one thing to let like a handful of forces get within the United States. It's another thing entirely when you let these terrorists bring tanks into like this guarded military facility. So it's kind of bizarre, but I don't know. I think it's very it's actually, it preludes to something else, so who's behind the Taylor's attacks, but let's just get into it.
Colonel Taylor, Kennedy Space Center is under attack by unknown forces. All we do know is they've got serious military hardware. I'm putting you in charge of the JSF units we had on routine standby for launch security. The Space Center's defense force will do their best, but without our help, they don't stand a chance. Whoever these vermin are, we can bet they've come here to destroy the Freedom 4 lifter. I don't think either one of us wants $35 billion deducted from our paychecks, Colonel. So wipe them out before they touch it. Major Dennison will serve as your XO. Get to it and do America proud. Mitchell out.
So I think this, I know I play the Ghost Recon games, but I think this is like one of the, what is it? I think he's one of the commanders, or I can't actually remember, so he's like one of the Ghost Recon specialists, I believe. And he somehow got promoted to general, so he did well for his campaign. Or for his career, I suppose. So yeah, we're here to defend the Freedom Star from these terrorist forces. We're playing as the JSF. So what is it? All three factions have their own special forces that we play as, so their elite forces. The United States has the JSF, the Joint Strike Force. The European Federation has the Enforcer Corps, and then the Russians have the Spetsnaz. I can't remember if there's like a special tag to the Spetsnaz or so. But yeah, they all have their own special forces. They all have special units that are, what is it? That are very powerful, and some factions are more equal than others in certain areas. Like I know that the Russians have the specialty in tanks, where those tanks are more powerful than everyone else's. I don't remember who has the most, the best infantry, the best gunships, the best artillery, so I think the US might have the best gunships, but I'm not entirely sure. Anywho, let's just dive into this. I could digress for years. So we have transports and tanks that we're deploying here. The transports they can carry infantry and are very efficient at dealing with gunships. However, they are vulnerable to tanks. Tanks are very efficient at dealing with transports and riflemen, and are vulnerable to gunships. So these two forces should make up the core of your force if you choose like an armored doctrine, simply because of the fact that they complement one another. The transports can carry infantry, they can deal with the gunships, and the tanks can deal with basically everything else. Though I'll probably do one video where I just do the Prelude to War, and then in the continuing video, when we go into the actual campaign for one of the factions, I'll do some research into the meta and try to figure out which is best, because, if gunships, tanks, and transports, they make the holy trinity. Artillery just kills everything at long range. Engineers kills everything within cover. But one of these three vehicles is able to upgrade to the point where it can deal with everything. So I want to figure that out. Anyway, let's just go into it. Let's see. I like how the loading time is so low you can't even read anything.
Secure. Camera on IFV platoon traveler, designated Unit 1. The Freedom 4 is taking fire, sir.
Okay. What are we dealing with?
The mission support display shows how many reinforcements are available, as well as total remaining reserves.
We'll call them in.
The number of reinforcements that can be airlifted onto the field increases over time. Use Unit 1 to engage Hostile 1.
Oh, those are Kamachis.
Fastback IFVs will shred gunships.
I thought those were cancelled. How did the terrorists get a hold of Kamachis? Kamachi gunships.
Hostile forces attacking from the northeast and northwest.
No, I find that very interesting that the terrorists would get this high-tech hardware, but technically, I guess, in retrospect, these are actually low-tech compared to everything else. Now, let's see. We have tanks moving on the flank. We're going to have Unit 3 engage those.
Well done, sir.
Alright, go down. Have you take the high ground. Are you engaging? Yeah, you can deal with the transports. Actually, tell you what, we'll have you engage the transports over here. Do more work. Just going to tear up these tanks. I think, yeah, these are the same. Yeah, these are T-80s. Or T-90s. I'm not entirely sure. Most of the Russian tanks look the same. Like, just past the T-62,
Mitchell
T-64.
here. The hostiles launched their
What's he
attack
talking
on a cargo
about?
ship that ran aground about 2 clicks north of the Space Center.
Oh.
Whoever's behind this had resources and lots of prep time. You've inflicted heavy losses on them. Keep it up. You've got another wave inbound. Mitchell out.
Good job, Colonel.
Alright. Oh, we have transports coming in. Send you up to engage those.
We'll kill him.
Keep the tanks back.
Traveler here. Engaging hostiles.
Go for the flank.
Diamondback. Opening fire. This is Traveler. Hostiles are
Yeah, so this is the
taking
Freedom Star.
damage. This is
Look
Traveler.
at that, and it's
That is a kill.
2009 glory.
Schwarzkopf tanks are more than a match for IFV transports.
Wait.
Diamondback. We are full strength.
Oh, they have two. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Disengage. Disengage. Yes, sir.
I want to get away from those transports.
We're engaging now. That is a kill.
Like those transports almost down. Yeah, the tanks engage those transports.
Sir. This is Thunder. Engaging hostiles.
Alright, go down.
Scoring damage.
Oh, I have the transports assist.
Thunder. All ready.
What are those? Those are literally like armored buses. How are they withstanding like 120mm cannons? See how we just wrecked them? It's so good. Oh my god. Man, I love this game.
Traveler here. Holding in position.
I kinda am sad that they didn't make a sequel for this. I don't know. Very
All
interesting
hostiles
tanks.
destroyed. Freedom 4 is secure.
Mitchell here. The situation is bigger than we knew, as in global. The European Federation and Russia are under attack as well.
By the same hostiles, General? Who are these people?
Unknown. But if they aren't afraid to make enemies of 3 superpowers on the same day, they're capable of just about anything. I'll be coordinating Homeland Defense operations. Expect new remote command assignments inside 5 minutes.
Of course, General. We'll be ready.
Alright, so out of these designs here, I don't really like the gunship design. It's really... I feel like the fin and fun is just made to have like a more futuristic effect. Other than that, so I guess it looks okay. It's like a little stealth chopper, I think. Are those bays? No. So like most of its ordnance are outside or so. What is it? I do like the vehicles for like the US faction though. Like this looks like a natural evolution from like the M1 Abrams tanks. Just because it has the same aesthetic and design, it has like, I don't know, some futuristic cool like doodads on it or so, which looks really nice. But yeah, it looks really cool. Transport design as well looks really nice or so. Kind of like an evolution from the was it the Bradley IFV, which is really nice. Has the same functionality. Yeah, no, I do like the aesthetic for most of the ground vehicles, I have to say. I think in terms of just the actual helicopters, I don't like the design of the US one because I think maybe branching off of the Apache, but just having stealth a bit, stealth attributes to it would have been better. But as it stands, it just looks a little off, I guess. I think my favorite helicopter design would have to be just the Russian one, just because it looks really nice. It looks like a upgrade on the Mi-28 Havoc. We're going to go through them like crap through a goose. That's a pattern for you. Alright, so what's next?
Efficiency and technology. The RPE Refinery at Rosenburg, Netherlands. A vast facility processing 100% of Europe's domestic oil and 35% of Russian imports.
Mayday! RPE is under attack! Multiple armored vehicles attacking the outer perimeter! We're seeing some kind of ship reached on the coast. We're taking fire.
No, I'm just thinking. It seems all the tailors use the same landing craft. I don't know why, what is it? I mean, like, that's the only way of deploying across the globe, so you'd think that they would just shoot any landing craft that don't respond to hails on sight before they get anywhere. But apparently they're just landing these landing craft all over the place. Alright, let's see what this
Colonel
is.
Maldini, the RPE refinery at Rosenberg, Netherlands has been attacked and occupied by a hostile force. The assault was launched from a beached cargo ship, so obviously the opposing force is the same one that attacked our uplinks in Croatia 12 days ago. I have regular infantry troops in position to retake the refinery before it can be damaged further. Your battle group's armored vehicles and helicopter gunships will ensure the success of this assault. If the refinery is destroyed, the blow to our nation's energy security will be irrevocable. Do not fail today, Colonel. Do not fail Europa.
I don't get where this, because like, just to me, in order to have like this nice sense of like nationalism, your nation has to last for at least like, I don't know, 20 or 30 years or something. But this like faction or so, this nation, the European Federation, it's only lasted for like only like a couple of years, and somehow they'll defend Europa, defend her, General. Like, what? Just yesterday or so, I was like working for the French government, and now I'm supposed to have my allegiance to all of Europe. It's a hard selling point, unless like the European Union just like kind of just got really nationalist or so with the idea of Europe as a whole, essentially. I don't know. Alright, so we have tanks and gunships starting off, which is really nice. Well, you know what, we're gonna... Yeah, that's that combat chain that you saw for a split second. It's the summary of the game. Alright, Unit 1 and 2 move to Alpha.
Done. Data stream secure.
Units 1 and 2 move to Alpha.
Matterhorn.
God. Unit 1 move to Alpha. Unit 2 move to Alpha.
Support display
what the hell
shows
is that?
available reinforcements, as well as
Unit 2, attack hostile 1. Unit 2, attack hostile 1. Deploy transports.
Refinery compound. We have to hurry, Colonel. They're taking the place apart.
Yeah, so the voice thing is still finicky
Zoom
even after all these
optics can be used to
years.
Scout the battlefield and analyze enemy movement.
I feel like the design of the European tanks as well. It's like, I don't know, it has like more of a French aesthetic to it though. If you see like the, what is it? What's it called?
Detected hostile units are displayed on mission.
What is those play French? It starts with an
Radar.
L or so. It's like the main battle tank for the French, essentially. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it looks kind of like an evolution of that in the AMX series kind of tanks that they had during the Cold War. I kind of get that vibe from it. Alright, I need you to start moving in so we can actually use you. Oh yeah, we're being flanked.
Colonel, some fresh intel. The same hostiles have attacked Kennedy Space Center in the U.S. and Russia's prototype fusion reactors near Minsk. We need to know who these people are. Excellent work, Colonel.
Oh shoot, they're going after my tank. Oh no, they're going after the infantry. That's fine. We don't care about them.
Destination reached.
Yeah,
Good job,
like
Colonel.
looking at these, they look like, what is it? Actually, I don't know exactly what they look like. They look like the mottos, so kind of, except for it has like tracks. Oh, great, they have some more tanks.
Our pleasure, Central.
Alright. Alright, you might have a problem.
All bells are up. We won't let you down.
Alright, so far so good. That transport is gone. Go ahead and finish off these tanks.
That's a key.
Guys, you can see these are the same Talos forces we've been dealing with all day. Well, that was quick. Didn't lose anyone. The Holy Trio. Tanks, transports, and gunships.
Refinery is secure.
This is High Command. The group behind the attacks is broadcasting claims of responsibility across the extranet in 18 languages. Here.
The Forgotten Army fights for those left behind when the oil dried up. Today, we have struck our oppressors with the most vulnerable. Let them burn, just as Africa and South America and the Balkans have burned. We gladly give our lives in direct action instead of waiting to die by famine or disease. Rise up and follow our bold example. Though we be an army of the forgotten, remember our action always.
The ideology is clear, General, but how do the have-nots of the world get their hands on military hardware?
Precisely my question, Captain. This is what we must learn.
Okay, now I took the time while they were doing that to quickly look up some vehicles on my phone to get actual names. So I have to say, yeah, this one looks really close to like the VPCI. This like new infantry fighting vehicle that the French made. Actually, almost looks exactly like it. So if you want to like pause the video and look that up, so it looks really close to it. It has the same. It's a wheeled vehicle, has auto cannon, so it really does look almost exactly like it. And then what I was talking about for the tank is that it looks like the, I can't remember the name. It's the I can't pronounce that. Lachil tank. My French is horrible. I mean, kind of in the aesthetic of it, but I feel like maybe it has more akin to like the AMX series in terms of its round design, really. But yeah, no, most of the vehicles do have like more of a French vibe to them, I guess. I would think that with the European, Federation encompassing all of Europe, they would have, I guess, like more vehicle types or so, like maybe not only the French, but also maybe it came to like the, well, maybe it does have a little bit of an Italian vibe to it as well, maybe as well. The, Electro, I can't remember the name for like the Italian MBT or so, but it does have the aesthetic to that as well. Wish it had more aesthetic to like the Leopard 2, because that'd be kind of cool. I feel like, I don't know, they could have like added some more main battle tank types or so, because the European Federal, well, Europe in general has had multiple different arms companies making all these different vehicles or so with different strengths and weaknesses, really. So it would have been nice to see more types, but I guess it's fine, I suppose. Alright, let's move on. We got more monies. A unit does well only what the commander checks. Oh, that's true.
Three attacks have been confirmed. JFK Space Center, of course, but also an oil refinery in the Netherlands, and now Russia's flagship fusion reactor complex near Minsk.
A group calling itself the Forgotten Army is broadcasting claims of responsibility across the extranet.
They are about to attack, General. Finally, 12 minutes behind schedule.
Their name is no joke. They even forget to show up on time. Amateurs.
If you can't tell what's going on, I'm going to play for a little bit longer. Tell me if you find something interesting out from the dialogue that just happens right now.
Good afternoon, Colonel Savalov of the 8th Spetsnaz Guards Brigade. Your forces are stationed at the fusion reactor complex east of Minsk. Because it is about to be attacked, you will hold out heroically for a while, and then reinforcements will become available and you will crush the attack with finality. It is permissible if buildings take some damage, as this will look good for news cameras. But do not let the enemy destroy anything of significance. Your after-action report will state that this was a surprise attack. Failure to do so will result in severe consequences. That is all.
Alright, so if you guys haven't figured it out already by the dialogue, the Russians are behind everything. Yeah, no. The reasons why they've done this, I'm not going to spoil it now, but you'll probably figure it out as we continue with the Prelude to War. So let's dive into this. It's like the Russians know what's going on. You will make a report that this was a surprise attack. You will make sure that some buildings are destroyed because that looks good for cameras. But don't let them destroy anything important. Oh, and here we have some of the infantry. So there are two types of infantry units. There are the riflemen and there are the engineers. The engineers, if they are in cover, will kill everything. They will literally kill everything that comes within their range if they are in a building. There's no way to deal with them other than to call in maybe riflemen to take care of them, or maybe to, call in artillery to, flush them out. But that's about it. That's all you can do. Dug-in engineers are almost impossible to kill. Anywho, yeah, you'll see this in a second, but they are quite powerful when you can get them within a building. Alright, well,
Sabilov is logged on. Data stream is secure.
I'll put you
we need to
here.
put our combat engineers into cover, Colonel, or they are useless and good as dead.
You over there. Alright. So they're going after this plant here and we need to stop them. Oh, and I guess this is introducing the other mechanics to the game, so Siege. Well, you have to either protect a critical update or you have to attack it.
Try to minimize casualties, okay? We'll have no reinforcements until mission supports come online. Ah, here they come. The surprise attack the news said started happening 15 minutes ago.
Oh, I love that. So they reported that they were under attack 15 minutes ago because they were supposed to attack on time.
All engineer units are in cover. Very good. Now we must defend Alpha.
Yeah, look at them. They're just wiping these gunships out. They don't stand a chance. I mean, engineers might be a problem, though. But yeah, engineers are the most overpowered unit in the game, but they're also the most vulnerable. Simply because of the fact that they are just so vulnerable to enemy fire. I do like how they take cover behind it and they work together, kind of. They have really good lots of animations. Even though it doesn't show the projectiles firing from the RPGs. And it looks like they're literally shooting into the bloody barricades. Like that. Oh, that guy just ceased to exist.
Heard about the other attacks, da? The US and Europe have been hit as well. Another wave of idiots. They are persistent.
Enemy is in sight. For this moment, God gave you spines. It is world of truth.
Oh wow. I do like how the units actually speak, essentially. If you hover over their units, you can hear them talk and have some banter with one another. Wow, so every single soldier has an RPG and every single one has a rocket launcher and has an assault rifle. That's funny. I'm checking to see if we're being flanked. Yeah, it's really not that much to do in this mission.
Cockroach IFTs are a gunship's worst nightmare. Northwest Squadron. Hostile deployed.
Alright, are they gonna get a little closer? We could destroy some of these buildings if we want, but there's really no point.
We're halfway to mission support coming online.
In fact, they might do some damage to us if they blow up. Just wait until they come within range. So Komachi actually does have a really nice design. Even though it makes no sense that they would take this much damage. Like, these are most likely... Oh god, no, I think these might be like... I don't know, 30 or even like 40mm autocannons. I have to check this on the wiki. Oh, and they're bringing up the battle buses now. Look how quickly they die. They just lost their shields now. Yeah. I don't even think tanks would be so efficient at tearing them apart. Oh wow.
Hostiles are deploying.
You're devil wolves and they're sheep.
They're bringing in more people. Yeah, I think out of all the missions, this one's like the least entertaining. Like, they'll literally just deploy right in front of us and they'll just die horribly. I think the one cool aspect of Endgame itself, or Endwar itself, is the fact that it is kind of immersive in the sense that, what is it, you are always, unless you're in the commando view, you don't get like a over-top view of the battlefield. You're always with your units on the ground. And then on top of that, was it, those enough?
One of their commanders, a Croat, tried to attack Europe all on his own a couple of weeks ago. You heard? All he accomplished was to blow himself up.
My god. Love the Russians. I like the sickest sense of humor. Alright, so saying more about engineers. My goodness. Some of the death animations are just funny. Because it's like they just lost their step and just like collapsed over. Like wonder if I could move up even further and like just like spawn camp them. Oh, look at that. That is just gross. Look at that. Tanks just spawning out of like the underside of the transport. That's funny. Oh, and these guys are idiots. Oh, that's sad.
We need reinforcements on the ground right away, Colonel. We can get reinforcements now, should we end up needing them.
Oh, okay. We don't really need any, but okay. You can see on the map that we have a bunch of vehicles coming in. Fast attack vehicles, tanks. All these units are coming in. We lost anyone? Oh, are they out of range? Can they not attack? Might be out of range. I'm gonna just stay in cover and let the reinforcements deal with them.
This is good. All beasts ready for combat.
Yep, here comes the Russian army. Drive these and they'll... Wow, those tanks look familiar. Mule Force, maybe? Yep. That's funny. I'm like, do they want to help out? I'm literally about to send them all to just rush out and just deal with them.
Affirmative. Engage.
I'm like, yeah, it's so good that you guys are here, but you guys want to actually do anything.
Engineers are not in cover, Colonel. Are you not paying attention?
I am paying attention. It's just that my forward units here that have been sent in to reinforce us aren't really doing much.
We have lost squads. Affirmative. It is ordered.
Incapacitated units are useless to us, but I will try to evacuate them automatically. We have multiple engineer units exposed, no cover.
I thought that squad actually naturally just took cover there. That's kind of interesting. I do like how they actually have a good amount of AI, where it's just like they find some object and like actually try to take cover. Cool. One. Yeah, not the most interesting
Our
one.
combat engineers are not in cover, Colonel. Are you not paying attention? Acceptable losses. All hostiles destroyed.
This is headquarters. I compliment you on a superb military response to an attack we never saw coming.
How did things go at Kennedy and in the Netherlands, General?
A forgettable shot. No significant damage inflicted anywhere.
If this is the best the oppressed peoples of the world can do, they deserve their misery.
All a means to an end. We have planted the seed. Now we water and watch it grow.
I love the metaphor. If this is the best the oppressed peoples of the world can do, they deserve them. Oh god, I love the Russians, at least in this game, because they're just like so professional and cynical in nature, essentially. Like, I read the book Endwar. It didn't have any level of writing like this over here. I mean, it was very interesting, the idea, but it had nothing to do with the World War, and mostly took place up in Canada itself. But yeah, no, I do like just the Russian narcissism. So just like, oh, they deserve the misery if this is all they can do.
What citizens want to know is, who was behind the April 4th attacks?
All three governments are carrying out separate investigations to learn who funded the terrorists and supplied them with military hardware.
The evidence is conclusive. Minister Poulin set it up.
Europe's defense minister. This is gonna be tricky.
America is going for debate, General. They're planning to abduct Poulin while he's visiting Copenhagen to inspect its uplink network.
When they go in, make sure the Danish police get an anonymous phone call.
This is Crash Cart. We have precious cargo in hand, but extraction has failed. Repeat, extract has failed. Mission site compromised. We are surrounded and pinned down.
Alright, so I won't explain exactly what's going on yet. All I'll explain is what's happening in the mission. So, the US has found out that the defense minister for the European Federation was responsible for the attacks, or they have they suspect that he might be behind the attacks. So they sent in, I think, like a ghost recon squad to go in and extract them, essentially. So they went in and essentially, what is it? They got surrounded, cornered, and now we need to go in and bail them out here. The Europeans are just not going to like this at all, for
Colonel
obvious
Taylor,
reasons.
Best case outcome for this mission is we cause a major international incident. And worst case is we start a war with Europe. Though given what I'm about to tell you, maybe that's not such a bad idea. Within 24 hours of the April 4th attacks, Third Echelon had found incontrovertible evidence that the Forgotten Army was secretly funded and supplied by Europe's defense minister, Francois Poulin. What that means is a conspiracy within the European government to destroy the Freedom 4 lifter. The other attacks? Diversions, to throw us off the scent. Make it look like Europe was a target too. Here's where it gets complicated. We sent in a Black Ops team to snatch Poulin in Copenhagen, but the mission got blown and they're pinned down in one of the city's uplink towers. Poulin's our only shot at finding out how high this conspiracy went. Maybe all the way to President Perot herself. So we're going in, and we're bringing him out. ESCOM has crashed Copenhagen's uplink network to give you safe passage in. Your job is to defend Alpha at all costs until we can extract Poulain. Don't mess this up, Colonel. Get to it.
Alright, no, and this also introduces the, what is it, the battalion aspect to it. So, this is the opposing commando that we're going up against, so for the European Enforcer Corps. He's rank 1, he's an airborne battalion. What that means is that he's going to depend highly on, I think, infantry and helicopters. So our tanks are going to be almost useless, kind of, in a sense. It would be a better option to deploy as many transports as we can, and to also deploy maybe a couple of pieces of artillery, maybe, to deal with the infantry. Or maybe even use tanks on, like, riflemen, or maybe engineers in the open, maybe. But I think transport should be a priority to go to deal with an airborne battalion. So, let's go into this. We can't change this, but this isn't a bad setup. We have our transports, gunships, and 3 engineers. We can use them to take cover and to hold the position. So I think we should be fine.
Colonel Taylor taking the helm. Data stream is secure. Forces inbound on DZ at Alpha.
Alright, so
we have clear skies. Copenhagen's uplink network is offline.
Alright, so if we're deploying here...
Rebooted Alpha.
Let's see.
Precious cargo still in our possession. Holding for extract.
European forces closing on Alpha, sir. We must defend it at all costs, until mission supports come online and we can secure extraction of the VIP.
Alright, so I'm not going to take cover there.
Highlighting on the HUD, some structures our engineers can use as cover points. Let's get them in there ASAP.
I feel like this is too vulnerable. Maybe we might try some of it out.
Wild card. All squads are good. Boxcars here.
You know what? We'll take the recommendation. Oh, I like that little animation where they're like breaching the building and facing through the door.
The building is ours.
Infantry in buildings have longer range. If the reticle's range number is green, it won't have to move to attack. Excellent work, sir.
This is Joker. We've taken the building.
Alright, so keep the helicopters and transports on standby.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
There's only 2 entrances into this area.
This is Viper. Destination reached, sir.
Let's see. What else is surrounding us?
We've secured the building.
I got a lot of naval vehicles here.
Check west quadrant. Hostiles moving.
I don't have any
Eyes
guns.
on marksman artillery vehicles.
Oh, we have to deal with the artillery vehicles.
This is Boxcar.
Oh, that's stupid. Why would they deploy the artillery there?
Boxcars here. Artillery fire on our position.
I'm not going to go out because
Use
of the
fastback
fast.
IFVs to knock gunships out of the air.
Roger that. Alright, so we only got one of the artillery. Oh, they have some missile defense apparently. Like one of them was just blown out of the sky. Alright. Transports along with the engineers should be able to neutralize the gunships quite easily.
We can let the hostile unit evacuate or attack it again to finish it off. Check central quadrant.
I don't see any
destroyed.
points
Hostiles
here.
on the move. Eyes on Enforcer Grenadiers.
Go ahead and finish off that artillery.
Destroyed.
Alright, so the gunships are being extracted, they got wiped out. Reinforcements are coming in, but I don't think we're gonna need them. Even if we lose some of these structures, we can always just put them in the very next one. Just across the road. What, you can't attack them now?
Roger. Getting close.
Fine, once we send in the Vipers
sir.
to deal with them. Like they're trying to send engineers to the other side. I wanted to avoid sending vehicles out because I'm worried that they might get taken out by enemy vehicles approaching, but we'll just use those gunships to pick up the artillery. Really short-range artillery, it's worse than a mortar, essentially.
Check what quadrant?
Oh, this is one thing you can do as well. You can focus fire on units that are already down if you want to commit war crimes. It's good for, like, in the campaign where you have to fight against commanders that can gain experience, because if you kill the units before they can get extracted, you don't have to deal with higher level forces. But it does feel like a war crime, kind of, just going after them. It's just like, oh, okay.
Destination reached, sir. Copy, moving.
I'm not sure if there's like any mechanics where it's just like, if you do that enough, the enemy would probably go ahead and just like execute your men as well in retaliation.
This is Joker. All squads vertical.
What is that? Oh, those are some of the infantry? I couldn't see them. Okay, they're like going back and forth.
We have the enemy in sight. So do what I say, or I'll kill you myself.
What? What'd you just say? You kill him yourself if he doesn't follow your orders. I mean, I do like the design on the infantry. They're like all looking around. I think they have like SCAR assault rifles, I believe. I don't... What are they doing?
I can't get any effect.
Well, you're not shooting at them.
This attack is stupid.
Yikes. Oh my. Are they gonna make it together? Or are they just gonna be wiped out where the last squad was? Looks like they're trying to get into the building. Ah, the guy in the building. It's still like it's not an even fight at all. It's like shooting that wall so hard.
Hostile destroyed. Hostiles are on the move. Eyes on Enforcer Grenadiers.
Where? Oh. Alright, let's Sally forth to try to deal with them. Gotta be careful. Watch out for enemy transports.
Blackfoot gunships are perfect tank killers. Center quadrant. Hostiles moving. Eyes on Panther tanks.
Focus on the artillery first. We'll go after the tanks afterwards. The tanks can shoot us with their main guns, and even if they get direct hits, it doesn't do anything to us. Which I find hilarious. Like, those are 120mm cannons. They do nothing to us. We're trying to keep eyes on all the stuff around us.
Center quadrant. Hostile eliminated.
Deal with the artillery and then go after the tanks.
Hostile neutralized.
They're down.
Walk in the park, sir.
We have to go after the enemy tanks now. I think, what is it? What the hell? They got in?
This is Viper. Engaging.
Alright, so we're engaging them over there. Gotta stop the tanks from like getting in too far. Gonna send reinforcements, yeah, that's fine. We have only 2 minutes until evac comes in. Finish off those tanks. I couldn't have retreat to my squads.
South quadrant. Hostiles are on the move. Eyes on Cheetah gunship.
We're chewing us up.
Tech unit 4. Losing effectiveness. Center quadrant. Hostile eliminated.
Copy, moving.
How do you get over here?
Disengaging.
Damaged units can be ordered to retreat. Save units and they'll get better with experience. Check center
I just need you to make a last stand there. The transports deal with these.
Hostile neutralized.
Nice, that's one. Alright, so we just have the engineers over there, but I don't think we're going to get that far.
Viper here. All eagles along. Copy, moving.
Hostile destroyed.
Alright, there we go. Scrubbing evacs. Four still in position. Could assist them. I feel like my vehicles would just get torn up.
Yes, sir. Moving.
Sure, why not?
Moving. Eyes on Badger IFE.
Destroy the building with them inside. We have to evacing. Take them out. Before they get into cover again.
Wildcard here.
That building does not exist. Oh, they're trying to get into this building now?
Disengaging. Not scoring hits. This is Blue Cab.
That building's not going to exist by
We
the
can
time
order
we get set up.
reinforcements now should we need them.
Too bad we don't really need them.
Hold Alpha and break the European counterattack.
Awesome, all reinforcements have arrived. My god, that's a lot of
Squadron.
Abrams
Hostile destroyed.
and Humvees. Alright, so that engineer squad got wiped out. A lot of forces coming in from the other side. A lot of tanks. Send you forward. Actually, send you back.
Units can be forced to attack buildings or move to locations without taking advantage of cover. Check what quadrant.
Kind of sent those
Hostile
tanks into
neutralized.
a really bad position because now they're surrounded by all my engineers here.
Got a kill, sir.
Now my fast attack vehicles are coming in. And all my Abrams tanks.
Center quadrant. Hostile destroyed.
It's awesome. Come the Abrams. Got what is it? There's an ability to actually call in reinforcements to do that.
Hostile
So you
destroyed.
can call in like your own regular military forces.
We're at full strength.
It's a really useful ability because it allows for you to lock down sectors.
Objective complete. All hostiles destroyed. Alpha
Definitely
has
gonna
been
get it.
held.
This is Crash Cart. Ready for extraction when you are. Mitchell here. Negative on extraction. Europe has moved a grid crasher satellite into position over Copenhagen. Looks like they're going to expend it and take the whole network back offline. We can risk flying in additional forces for you, but we can't risk extracting Defense Minister Boulain until we have that sector locked down.
Understood, General. Guess we're just gonna have to capture all the other uplinks too. Who said it would be easy?
Huh. No, I actually don't understand the uplinks because I thought they mostly just dealt with the missile defense system, but apparently we can't even extract people without having entire uplink dominance in an area, I guess. I don't know why the uplinks are that important though. I don't know. It's far more important to be able to hit the target than it is to haggle over who makes a weapon or who pulls a trigger. I can see the logic behind that.
Breaking news of fighting between American and European forces in the streets of Copenhagen.
Responded to an anonymous tip that American spies were about to kidnap Defense Minister Boulain.
Oh, I wonder who got that, or who sent that
President Becerra
anonymous
claiming the
tip.
U.S. is acting on conclusive evidence of a criminal conspiracy within the European government to destroy the Freedom 4.
More U.S. forces have landed into Copenhagen. Every indication is that another round of fighting is about to begin.
What I don't understand is how the U.S. got forces here, because this is in the middle of European Federation territory. You have Norway over here, Sweden, Denmark. Well, I don't think England's a part of the European Federation. Not because of Brexit. I wonder if they actually predicted it, because apparently England didn't want to be a part of the European Federation, but agreed to have the European Federation, I guess, watch its uplink centers, I guess. Which I found kind of interesting, but no, it's kind of weird how the US got forces here. I mean, this isn't Cuba. This is literally in the middle of, like, European Federation territory, so I don't know.
Colonel Madini, 40 minutes ago, the United States of America crashed Copenhagen's uplink network, invaded by air, occupied European soil, and initiated combat operations against our forces. Our first attempt to drive them from the city failed, but now we have units in position to mount a determined counterattack. IWCE will expend a satellite to recrash the city's uplinks. Your forces will secure and reboot the network. Once we have achieved electromagnetic dominance, the Americans will have no choice but to surrender or flee. Theirs was an act of unprovoked aggression, Colonel. Show no mercy to these invaders. That is all.
Look how patriotic this guy is. I don't understand why. No, it's just like, yeah, they invaded European soil and engaged all forces. I find it very interesting. So, this guy is, was the 5th Armored Battalion. So, essentially he's going to have a bunch of tanks. So, I will probably deploy a good amount of engineers and gunships to deal with this guy here. Because he's just going to spam out tanks left and right. Unit 1, secure Lima.
Logged on.
Unit 2, secure Bravo. No, Unit 2, secure Bravo. No, Unit 2, secure Bravo. Thank God.
Designated units 1 and 2. Riflemen are best against combat drones and engineers. All that heavy equipment engineers carry makes them easy to gun down. Copenhagen's uplinks are offline. We need to secure and reboot more than half to establish signal dominance.
I wonder if there's like a mod for this to increase the amount of reserves you can use in the campaign. I'll probably look into that as well, just because I think it would be more interesting. Oh, they actually have drones?
Only infantry can secure uplinks. They are vulnerable in the open, so terrain must be used to provide cover.
Okay.
Smack them stupid! Kill them! Take them out!
Smack them stupid. I like how they're like dramatically taking cover. Alright, so now they're in cover, so they should be fine. You know, one is also engaging the drones.
Reinforcements are available.
I don't know how they're still alive. Because those are like Gatling guns actually attacking them, so probably at least like 7.6 millimeter. Twice they made it this far.
Signal confidence. Lets us bring in reinforcements faster. We need to capture one more uplink to achieve.
Deploy gunships. Do we have artillery? We don't. What to choose? What to choose? Yeah, I'll deploy transports.
Check Lima. Uplink is secure. Superb command and control. We can win by keeping our hold on these two uplinks, waiting for the network to come back online.
Units 1 and 2 secure Alpha.
Uplink. It's your call.
Yeah, we're not gonna sit on our butt and do nothing. We're gonna go in there. What do we got? Infantry, helicopter. Ah, damn it, helicopters. And a lot of drones.
This is Fermi. Archers delivered. Confirm.
We take positions just around the area. Launch a combined armored assault on the left side.
Check center quadrant. Hostiles maneuvering.
Off.
As on JSF pioneers. Use Badger IFVs to shoot down hostile gunships. Check Alpha. Hostiles have secured uplink. We can't let the Americans capture another uplink. Infantry and buildings have longer range. If the reticle's range number is green, the unit won't have to move to attack.
This is safe. We've secured the building.
Waiting for these to get up here. I use them to take out the helicopters. Yeah, Lifeman actually tailing apart those engineers quite well. Should be able to launch an attack. See if we can make it all the way over there. You probably won't.
Check North Quadrant. Hostiles in motion. Eyes on M118 fastbacks.
Oh, that's great.
We can let the hostile evacuate, or attack it again to finish it off.
I'll finish off those helicopters. Ow, that sounded painful. Those gunships are retreating. Have you help out? You know what, just make a beeline for it, just run for it. Taking fire from two sides.
North Quadrant. Hostiles are deploying. Eyes on V-120 Valkyrie. Sheeta gunships are perfect tank killers. Hostile sighted. Eyes on Schwarzkopf tanks. Sec Unit 4. Suppressed by enemy fire.
This is safe. Securing update, Central.
These transports are falling back. Make a preemptive attack on those enemy tanks. Yeah, they're running.
Check North Quadrant. Hostile eliminated. Hostiles are deploying.
Waiting for orders.
Now let's secure the last uplink and get out of here. Deploying more forces, some infantry squads over there.
Check Alpha. We have secured it. Mission is proceeding well.
Oh, that would have ended
Mission
badly.
accomplished.
Those are transports.
Copenhagen network back online. We have complete signal dominance.
This is High Command. Cease all combat operations. The Americans have accepted my offer. They will release Minister Poulet in exchange for safe passage back to their troop carriers in the North Sea.
But General, with the network back online, we could vector in strike fighters.
For the moment, it is prudent to be merciful, Captain. We shall see how long this moment persists.
So we're gonna let the US go. Alright. I wanna look at these, like, naval ships. I mean, what is it? They don't have guns or anything. They're really low polygon. I mean, this is really like a console port over to the PC, really. So they tried to make it optimized for the Xbox 360 and PS3. In fact, the game is more like akin to like a game that uses the Xbox 360's like voiceover and PS3's voiceover better with like the console controls, because it does give you a more immersive effect. For the PC with the mouse and keyboard, the voice commands aren't really necessary. They're more like a gimmick, really. As you can see, like most of my actions, I just use the mouse and keyboard for it, really, because it's just faster. It's just so much faster. Alright. So what is next?
With the smoke still settling in Copenhagen, the US and Europe have stopped just short of declaring war.
President Becerra still claims evidence of a conspiracy to destroy the Freedom 4, an accusation President Perot calls preposterous. Both leaders have agreed to meet for talks next week on neutral ground in London.
Meanwhile, the Freedom 4's rescheduled launch is set to go forward tomorrow morning.
Yep, here we go.
Good evening, Colonel Sabotage. I assume it is obvious to you that I arranged the Forgotten Army's attacks on April 4th and also the incident in Copenhagen. These actions were a service to our motherland. How much longer do you think we'd have before the US and Europe found an excuse to ally against us, to take our oil? Realpolitik demands that we spark a war between our enemies before this can happen. Copenhagen took them to the brink. Tonight you will have the honor of pushing them over. Your forces will be disguised as Forgotten Army terrorists. Your objective is to capture a majority of the Rovaniemi air base's uplinks and upload a data virus codenamed Stiletto into Europe's missile shield network. If antiquated notions of morality prevent you from performing these duties, Colonel, simply speak up. I will have Major Noskov remove you from your command. Permanently. Otherwise, begin.
Well, he just spelled it out there, so the gist of it, so the catalyst of all this, all the terrorist attacks, was Russia fearing a European Federation and United States alliance. Which is what happens in the books, essentially. The European Federation and the United States are working together. It doesn't help them against Russia, but Russia's actually in the game taking preemptive attacks or preemptive measures to try and get them on the brink of war, essentially. And then their decision was, hey, so we'll get them to fight against one another, and then we'll join sides with one or the other, so to push the tipping point or so, allowing them to have the opportunity to gain more influence or so and destroy one of their potential enemies or so. It's almost akin to like the USSR getting, the factions in NATO to fight against one another and then ally with one of the fighting forces. That's like the gist of it all. It doesn't work, but it was a sound plan, essentially. Alright, so we have our group over here. We're fighting against a mechanized force. Mechanized? I need to like get... I used to have like this little like chart. Because I bought an Xbox 360 copy. It had like a chart of all the different specialties of the battle groups and what you'd use to kill what unit, essentially. I don't even know if I even have that anymore. Anywho, mechanized, I know they're gonna have a lot of transports, probably a lot of infantry as well. I'll probably deploy a good amount of like tanks to just deal with them. We have force recon, so we can use that to kind of deal with most of the forces. Unit 2, secure whiskey.
Data stream secure and untraceable.
Unit 3, secure Sierra.
Forgotten Army terrorists.
We are in position. Noskov did good job with disguise. We look so much like terrorists, we fool ourselves.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
Rovaniemi's uplink network has been crashed. Mission objective is to secure and reboot more than half of uplink so we can upload Stiletto virus.
Okay, so yeah, just this mission is that we're pretending to be...
Reinforcements are limited. Make sure we use them correctly.
What are those? Oh, those are bloody engineers.
As soon as we secure an uplink, we can upgrade it to let us order in airstrikes.
You know, have you
hostile
deal with them.
Engineers defending this uplink are in cover. We will need riflemen to take care of them.
Oh, wait, what was he talking about? Yeah, the just this mission, like trying to toggle like 2 different assignments here. Or 2 different like battle groups. But the gist of this mission is that we are pretending to be the terrorists. Oh my. That's a lot of DACA.
Moving, Colonel. Affirmative.
This is Mastodon. Attacking.
This is Wolfman. They are down squad.
Moving, da. Affirmative, Colonel.
Let's just engage those transports.
This is Wolfman. We are full strength.
Let's just take cover. I just go after whiskey.
This is good.
Position exposed. No cover.
Check center quadrant. Hostile neutralized.
I'll just go for it.
Mastodon here. All beast. No problem.
Lab uplink.
There's a hole, we can go for it.
Hostiles moving. Eyes on Badger IFVs.
We stop, okay.
Hostile neutralized.
Alright, going for both those points.
Movement here. Getting this uplink.
Oh, great, they got
Hostile
tanks.
sight.
Pull back,
Eyes on
pull back, pull
Cheetah
back.
gunship.
Pull back, pull back, pull back.
Trap here. Capturing uplink. Of course, Corp.
Check
This-
east
This
quadrant.
is like a cluster.
Hostile destroyed. Check north quadrant. Hostile destroyed. Check.
Okay, let's see.
East. We secured it. Now let's upgrade it with an encrypted data feed so we can target airstrikes in this place. The lethal virus is uploading.
Mastodon here. A beast is broken.
Affirmative. This is Bear Trap. All squads hungry.
This is Mastodon.
Alright, that should be enough.
Check unit
We have the
4.
engineers and cavalry and transports. We lost a good amount of our tanks though.
Check center quadrant. Hostile neutralized.
Oh, they're sending in more transports. We'll just upgrade those positions and then we'll go on from there. Like firing point blank into them. I don't know how we could miss at that range.
Grizzly here. Position exposed. No cover.
Not seeing any other reinforcements coming in. I guess there's one good thing about the game is that you don't have, like, what is it?
Secure the uplink.
Line of sight or
Units
so,
can
like,
be forced to
units
attack
don't, like,
buildings or move to
appear out of
locations
nowhere.
without taking advantage of cover.
Secure the uplink.
Yeah, like, if I use my binoculars, I can make out where enemy units are. I can see
Check
some
center quadrant.
very cool looking jets there.
Hostiles moving.
Oh,
Eyes on Panther tanks.
oh fudge.
You said it, so we'll do it.
Look, get on the other side of that building. We'll use the engineers and cover to deal with those tanks.
If we must.
Stealth fighters standing by for target coordinates.
Getting this up.
Engineers should be able to deal with them. I have Unit 2, secure Zulu. Unit 3, secure Foxtrot.
Uplink. Affirmative.
Yeah, our engineers just like murdered those guys. Pretty badly. Nice. Alright, they're gone. I'll deploy more tanks.
Check Alpha. It is ours.
Of course, Corp.
I can keep on upgrading my air support to the point where it will just like one-shot something. Are those infantry? Oh, they keep on deploying more and more units. Good thing we set the engineer squad
West
over here.
quadrant. Hostiles in motion.
Oh,
Eyes
riflemen.
on Enforcer rifle platoon.
On the move.
Now get into range and start shooting those. Looks like they're deploying more tanks.
Mastodon here. We will be like Spetsnaz.
This is Strike Command. You are patched into us.
Disengage, like you say. Of course, Corp.
Oh, you guys are going too far. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back.
Check Unit 5. They'll be smashed.
You don't say.
We should stick infantry in cover, where they will bleed less.
This is Bobak. Locked on target. Ah, of course.
Well, that's short half of them. Yikes. Plenty of airstrikes here.
This is Bobak. Locked on target.
There's the air support. Oh god, they died. They're dead.
Hostile neutralized. Check Unit 1. They're in trouble.
They should be fine. There we go.
We have lost squad.
Might as well just call in another airstrike, I guess. Yeah, they're killing our guys. I'm calling an airstrike.
Hostiles in motion. Eyes on Panther tanks.
This is great.
Not great.
We have lost 2 squads. As you say.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Check Foxtrot.
Oh, more tanks?
Incapacitated units are useless to us, but I will try to evacuate them automatically.
This is Bobak. Locked on target.
They keep coming.
This is Mustang.
Oh, damn
Like
it.
space nuts.
Incapacitated units are useless to us, but I will try to evacuate them automatically.
Oh, we got all 5 locations, so we're good.
The lethal virus uploaded to European missile shield satellites, working its magic on launch recognition algorithms.
Head photos here. A fine job. Let us see America and Europe avoid a war now. When the fighting begins, I fear we will have no choice but to assist our American comrades in their crusade against Europe.
It is finally coming true, General.
We live in interesting times, Noskov. Interesting times.
Alright, so they put a bug into the defense grid, the missile defense grid that they talked about in the cutscene. So we're going to see the result of that. I first just want to look at these cool planes, because they look really cool. They're like, what is it, if the, the Su-47 had a child with, kind of like a Hornet, like an F-18 Hornet. It has the same wings as the Su-47, except for, like, the nose of it looks kind of like a Hornet, in a sense. But it's really sexy looking plane, and I'm like, really, I just really wish we would see more of them, I guess, other than in the airstrikes. I don't know. Alright, we'll see the result of this virus here.
We are just seconds away from this morning's rescheduled launch of the Freedom 4. The crew looked calm and relaxed as they boarded the lifter on their mission to complete America's mighty Freedom Star.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. We have main engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the Freedom 4, writing a new chapter of security in space for the United States of America.
It is with a profound sadness that I address you here this morning. At 7:45 a.m., we experienced a national tragedy when the Freedom 4 lifter exploded.
My fellow Americans, we will never forget this morning, how they climbed skyward only to be struck by a thunder that split the clouds and woke the world. We stand at DEFCON 1, ready for action.
The motherland will not
We have youth beyond grief. Our fury is righteous. We did not start this war. We will end it.
Alright, so yeah, what is it? The virus we implanted caused the missile shield system to target the Freedom 4 shuttle, destroying it completely. And now everyone's at war with one another. So, don't necessarily want to go into this now, I guess, but when we come back, we will choose a faction to get started with. Actually, I guess we might as well just choose it now. Actually, no, when we come back, I'll choose a faction and we'll get started from there. Just because I want to do some research into the different nuances between the three different groups, because they do have some nuance to them, so some strengths and some weaknesses. So, when we come back, we'll choose our faction and we will get into World War III. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.